Coming to you from the Lydia Media Studios in the heart of Lewiston, Auburn, it's Lydia's Lunch Bunch, LA's afternoon morning show with Mark, Sarah, and Pam. We're covering news and events in the greater LA area and talking to the people making a difference in our community. Give us a listen at lydiamediallc.com or wherever you get your podcasts. And feel free to share your comments, questions, or suggestions via email at podcast@lydiamediallc.com.
Today's show is brought to you by United Piping, serving residential and commercial customers with new installations and repairs. Call today and schedule your oil and gas boiler cleanings at 754-4556. UPI, the best plumbers around. And by Roopers Beverage and Redemption, when it comes to beer, wine, and spirits, don't botch it, squatch it. At 5 locations in Lewiston, Auburn, and Oxford. Learn more at roopersbeverage.com, and remember, the party starts at Roopers.
Well, Pam, we haven't heard that voice since last year.
I know, we missed it. It's been so long. What day is it?
I don't even know. What a mess.
What a mess.
What a mess.
You've come back to life.
Yes, welcome back, Sarah.
Thank you.
We heard you were sick.
I was sick. It was terrible.
I tried to send you some fun Instagram.
You did. I appreciated that very much.
The pickle one?
I was like, what the heck is up? She sent me this weird people dressed as pickles thing, and I was
like a whole
what?
pickle theme park or something. It was so bizarre.
Just so disturbing.
I'm like, who can I send this to?
Who will appreciate this? Oh, Sarah will. I totally did.
Were they playing pickleball?
They were.
Were they really?
Were they?
There were several different scenes. They were golfing. It was weird.
It was very strange.
It was weird,
Yeah.
but it was good.
And then I sent you one with a dog, had a dolphin friend.
Oh my God, that was so cute. I want a dolphin friend.
Who doesn't want a dolphin friend?
I was a little worried the dolphin was going to be like, we're not friends, and like hurt the dog, but it didn't.
Well, I was afraid with the dog paddling that it would scratch the dolphin.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Sarah, you already have a dolphin friend.
I do?
Dan Marino.
Yeah.
Right?
It's not that Dan Marino.
Oh. All right, whatever.
He's not a dolphin. He's a photographer.
He's a very talented photographer.
As you may have guessed, folks, we do not have a guest today, and I think that's probably best because all three of us came in here a dragging ass.
Not knowing what is going on.
Yeah.
We don't even know.
It feels like Monday.
It's the third Monday in a row.
It does.
Like,
I can't even say it.
consecutively.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
She's going to be okay. She just needs a nap.
I do.
At least a half a dozen times I was preparing myself for January 6th because that Monday is busy and there's a lot of things happening. Lots in my calendar, a lot of people I need to connect with. Yeah. And so many times yesterday I'm like, okay. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I still have 4 full days before that's going to happen.
It's so
anyway.
confusing.
It is. It's a weird time.
The weird weekend between the two holidays.
Yeah.
And, I kept thinking it was Sunday yesterday too. I wanted to put the trash out again. We just put the trash out yesterday.
Yeah, it was strange.
I
But
don't know.
Yeah.
We're okay.
by Monday, we should be okay. We're going to be back to normal.
Which one?
Back to, one.
Tomorrow? The real
the
Monday.
one 4 days after this one.
The real Monday?
And it's going to be a full week. And we're going to be, by Friday, we're going to be like, that was 2 weeks into one.
Yeah.
It's going to feel really long.
By the time Wednesday afternoon rolls around, we're going to be like, all right, I'm ready for the weekend.
Yes. It's a lot.
That's no different than any other.
That's true. That's true. So we do have some fun stuff today. We're going to do a tasting tales from our friends at Roopers Beverage and Redemption. They have set us up with Bota's Nighthawk Black Lush Pinot Noir.
All right.
I have a feeling I'm going to like this one.
Yeah.
I like darker, deeper red wines. So
We'll check that out in just a bit. We also have hot off the presses, the winter 2025 issue of LA Metro magazine, which we're going to be previewing for you right before our release party happening on January 6th.
Yep.
Which
Monday.
the other Monday that we're talking about.
Monday.
That's right. So before we do all that, let's take a look at some headlines for Thursday, January 2nd.
A new state law went into effect yesterday to ensure tenants know the full cost of renting an apartment or home before they sign a lease. The law addresses complaints that some landlords add hundreds of dollars in fees to the monthly rent. Landlords will now be required to notify existing tenants about rent hikes and new fees and limit how much property owners can collect from new renters.
Senator Susan Collins introduced the recently passed Autism Cares Act of 2024. The legislation will renew and expand federal support for research, services, and training related to autism spectrum disorder and other developmental disabilities. Autism Cares is the main source of funding for autism research, services, training, and monitoring.
The Sun Journal reports that a bridge in Mechanic Falls will be named after adventurer Bill Dunlop, who disappeared in 1984 while attempting to sail solo around the world in his 9-foot sailboat. The 43-year-old adventurer went missing between the Cook Islands and Australia. The span known as Bridge number 2540, which carries Elm Street across the Little Androscoggin River, will be named Bill Dunlop Memorial Bridge.
And the state of Maine is reminding residents about the January 31st deadline for dog licensing. The cost is $6 per dog if it is spayed or neutered, and $11 if not. And a current rabies vaccination certificate is required. Dog license fees account for 95% of the state's animal welfare program funding. You can check with your local municipality for more information.
The weather?
Let's
Talk about the weather.
I mean, it's a little boring, but that's okay.
All right.
Well, I mean, I don't mind boring when it comes to weather.
No,
I don't want to see my house floating away. I'm all set with that. I don't want to lose power.
Mild is fine.
We are cloudy today with a high of 36 and a low of 27. Sunny tomorrow with a high of 30. Partly sunny through the weekend with temps in the teens and 20s.
That doesn't sound so bad.
That's seasonable.
That's all right. Yeah, we can deal with that.
guess.
We'll manage. Let's do sports. The Bruins will visit the New York Rangers tonight at 7.
The Celtics visit the Minnesota Timberwolves tonight at 7:30.
The Maine Nordiques return from the holiday break to host the Philadelphia Rebels on Friday and Saturday.
And our interviews with the Nordiques will continue next Wednesday.
Yeah,
we haven't had the Nords on for a while.
Yeah.
Since last year.
Yeah.
The NA3 Nordiques will visit the Northeast Generals on Friday and Sunday.
And the Patriots end their season at home against the Buffalo Bills on Sunday afternoon.
That is your news, weather, and sports. And right now it is time for the podcast segment that is Sweeping the Twin Cities. It's time for famous people birthdays.
They're famous. It's their birthdays. It's famous people birthdays. It's famous people birthdays.
Let's take a look at FPBs for January the 2nd, shall we?
Okay.
All right. We are celebrating Cuba Gooding Jr.
Cuba?
Cuba. That's how you pronounce his name.
Is it really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not Cuba. Cuba, I think we know as the Show Me the Money guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
In Jerry Maguire.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was
Speaking
also,
of football.
Yeah. He was also in Boys in the Hood. He's an Academy Award winner.
Yeah, A Few Good Men.
A Few Good Men. And he also played O.J. Simpson in the FX drama series The People versus O.J. Simpson. Speaking of name pronunciations, Sarah taught me how to pronounce this name last year on this date. Tia Carrera
Oh, yeah.
is 58 years old today.
Yeah.
I used to say Tia Carrera for some reason.
Carrera.
It's Carrera.
Yeah.
I know her as Cassandra from Wayne's World. Right?
Oh, she's so cool in that movie.
She's done a lot, but
Yeah.
I think that she may be best known for that, I would think. That was
Yeah.
a smash hit.
That and Lilo and Stitch.
Yes.
Yeah.
She is also a Grammy award-winning singer.
No, I
Yeah,
didn't
she
know
won
that.
2 Grammys.
Oh, that's cool.
So she must have done all her own singing in Wayne's World.
Yeah, I bet she did.
I bet she did
She
too.
was on Dancing with the Stars, too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, happy birthday, Tia. And rounding out FPBs for January the 2nd is the one and only Jack Hanna.
Aw.
He's 78 years old today. You remember him from going on the David Letterman show
Yeah.
with all kinds of weird
Great
animals,
animals.
right? I kind of want to say I remember him from the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson.
That's how I remember him, is with Johnny.
I didn't know if it was someone different because I know each show had their like own animal expert.
No, it was Jack
But-
Hanna.
Okay, he
Yeah.
was the guy.
He would bring like a monkey or a lemur, and Johnny
Yeah.
would get all weird.
Yeah. Yeah. He is nicknamed Jungle Jack and was the director of the Columbus Zoo and Aquarium from 1978 to 92. Those are your FPBs for January the 2nd.
Whether you want a sit-down meal or a grab-and-go, Pat's Pizza in Auburn offers delicious sandwiches, pasta, salads, and pizza at family-friendly prices. Pat's Pizza, serving the L.A. area since 1985. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. at 85 Center Street in Auburn. Online at patsauburn.com.
Now we move on to some other business,
Yeah.
which we have, it's not a bottle.
It's a box of wine.
It's a box of wine. And the reason why they do this, I was reading this packaging here. They put this in a box. Bota puts this in a box because it has a smaller carbon footprint than a 750 milliliter bottle.
Oh, so it's for the environment?
Yeah, for the environment, 75% fewer greenhouse gas emissions and 50% less waste.
Look at that.
Can I ask your opinion on a little box of wine? Like, this is a little box, not a big box.
It is. It's a
Right.
mini. Yep.
Is that just meant to be consumed by one person in a one-time sitting? Like, is this like how is
So
this
I think that's
considered?
equivalent to 3 glasses.
Yes.
Pam, if I'm
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I see. Oh, that's nice. They put it right on the box for
Yeah.
you.
like this is how much you're drinking.
Yeah.
3 5.6 ounces.
Okay.
So just under a 6-ounce pour.
We're going to sample this bevy here from our friends at Roopers Beverage and Redemption, which Pam already thinks she's going to like.
All right.
To 2025.
Here we
Bota
go.
Mini Bota Nighthawk Black Lush Pinot Noir. Cheers.
Cheers.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to one and all.
It smells very, very sweet.
So this Nighthawk Black Lush Pinot Noir channels the bold spirit of the Nighthawk, which emerges at dusk to seek its next adventure. Layering luscious flavors of blackberry pie and black cherries with a whiff of toasty oak. This plush, inviting red is a perfect party guest. Pair with cherry-sauced duck breasts, tuna steaks,
Oh.
or pasta carbonara.
Oh, I like a good carbonara.
Do you?
Yep.
Okay.
This is
It's
nice.
smooth. It's a little strange coming off my coffee palate, but
It is very smooth. There's nothing about this that is going to make you wince or.
I was going to say sometimes red wine will have that bite to it.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like,
Nothing.
and and that tends to go away when you aerate it or air it out for a little bit.
I definitely feel like I can taste the blueberry or
Dark cherry.
blackberry, the sweet
Yeah.
fruit.
Yeah.
I like it.
What's great about the boxes too, maybe not these little ones because once you open it, it probably airs a little differently, but the boxes with the little spigots on it,
Yeah.
they last up to 30 days. So
Yep.
you don't have to, when you open a bottle of wine,
This is like an adult juice box.
an adult
great.
Capri Sun.
It's a Capri Sun for grown-ups.
Yeah, just get yourself a steel
You
straw.
put a straw in that and just like
Make it work.
Good.
Yeah,
I
if you
like
would
that.
like more information on this product, you can go online to botabox.com. That's BOTA, botabox.com.
And if you just want to try it, just trust us
Yeah.
and go
Pop
over
over
one
to
of the
Roopers.
Roopers and grab yourself a few different Bota Minis.
yeah.
And we have received some comments from the podcast about people buying these items
Oh.
per our recommendations.
All right.
Are they positive?
They
Or
are.
are they just like, you bunch of booze hounds?
know.
We don't like any of it.
No, they are. They've been very positive, and I think
Excellent.
it's worked for us as well when we tried
know, I've
when we
tried a lot
tried the
of new
mint chocolate chip sipping cream. Now I've purchased 3 of them so far. Sherry loves them.
Which 3 of that particular flavor or different
No,
flavors?
so I got the Eggo,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
got the strawberries, and the peanut butter.
How was the
Oh,
peanut
okay.
butter?
Oh, it's so good.
Is it
All
good?
of them are so
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
I gave mint chocolate chip to the trainers at the gym. They haven't responded as to whether or not they liked it, but I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
How can you not?
How can you
Yeah.
not? Yeah.
So,
Nice.
yeah, folks, if you end up trying something, sampling something that we have here on the podcast, let us know about it.
Yeah.
And let us know what your thoughts are. Because
Absolutely.
we're trying to be as honest as we can. It just so happens that everything we've sampled so far has been good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We haven't
we've-
got anything that we're like, "Whoa."
Right.
Yeah.
So good stuff. I would recommend. I'm not a wine drinker, and I would recommend this. It's very smooth, and for not being a wine drinker, I could see
Yeah.
myself having
Yeah.
having a couple of these
Yeah.
at a social
Down, have
get
a
together.
glass, yeah.
Yep. or just at home watching some horrible movies, as I tend to do.
Nothing like Shawshank Redemption or...
No. Locally owned and locally focused, Lydia Media celebrates the heart of the greater Lewiston-Auburn area through 2 magazines, Uncle Andy's Digest and LA Metro Magazine, and the new Lydia's Lunch Bunch podcast. Each production shines a positive light on local businesses, nonprofits, events, and individuals making a difference in our community. Keep your advertising dollars local, position your business in front of your target audience with Lydia Media. Learn more at lydiamediallc.com. So we all have in our hands right now, hot off the presses. It's still warm. It smells great too. That's what I noticed about these magazines.
Oh, yeah.
It's like we missed that when we leave school, right?
Yeah.
You get all those brand new textbooks and you just sniff them for 5 minutes. Well, the brand new Winter 2025 LA Metro magazine is officially out, and this one has a health and wellness theme to it.
It does.
I love it. Plus, it's the new year. So
Yes.
if you're looking for tips and tricks, I think you'll probably find a few good answers in here. Places you can,
For all kinds of different things.
yeah,
I think.
people you can turn to for aesthetics or chiropractic care or osteopath care. Like, you got it all here.
A little bit of everything. Yeah, I mean, we kind of went the whole scope. We have a piece on Andwell who they brought in some artists and curated, different spaces and talked about what they did was both for the people visiting and also the people experiencing end of life. So, and how important art was for that. It's not just how to get healthy for yourself.
Right.
It incorporates, all kinds of different things that can be for your health and wellness, which mental health is a huge one.
Absolutely.
Be the One is another story we have in here. We had the American Legion in here for a podcast. I'm not sure what the date. Scroll back and look for that, but they briefly touch on the Be the One project that they are working on, and that is focused on being able to recognize and help those that may be having suicidal thoughts and things, and how it is okay to have those conversations with people, because it explains things that you feel like that might not be okay to ask or say to someone really are okay to say and ask, type of thing.
Right.
But also, I mean,
like Amy Stacey Curtis.
Amy Stacey Curtis.
Her
That's
own
a
journey.
interesting story of how she had Lyme disease that went undiagnosed, and she went through all kinds of crazy symptoms that are just mind-blowing, that she didn't realize what was going on, and then finally figured it out and got proper treatment, but still had a really hard time getting back to herself, and music has really helped her do that. So great story there. But little piece on seasonal depression, and how you can combat that, which I think is something that people don't recognize or notice as quickly as maybe some other reasons on why you would be feeling low energy or...
Right. People think they're just feeling blue.
Yeah.
Like it's just, it's winter, it's drab, I'm bored. That's part of it. But part of it is also a vitamin D deficiency that needs to be addressed.
Right.
You can become very, very down in the wintertime. I know I get seasonal depression.
Yeah, and it's a vicious cycle.
Yeah, because you think it's never going to end.
And then you're bombarded with all these Mondays.
All these Mondays, one right after the next. Ugh.
Is Monday ever going to end?
No,
It's
so
just
depressing.
it's like Groundhog Day. It's Monday again. Here we go.
But yeah, we spoke to BJ Grondin over at Prime 360 about that a little bit, and he gives some real insight on different things that people can do without focusing on going to utilize Prime 360 as a studio. He specifically wants to help people recognize what they can do. And first and foremost, just getting outside and just doing a brisk 15-minute walk. That has a huge impact on your health and mindset in the winter months. So wealth of information.
Yes.
it's
Cover to cover.
And
there's so
speaking of
much,
that, the cover story covers Geiger, who recently won an award for its wellness program.
Yeah, there's huge benefits to companies really focusing on the wellness of their employees, whether it's, providing a space for them to exercise or pay for gym memberships or things like that, but also the mental health side of things too. They have a bunch of different programs within their company and teams within those programs to kind of get employees involved and stuff. So just a neat little story on how not only individuals but businesses can help with health and wellness all around. So.
Yeah. And we have a story in here from our very own Sarah.
Oh, yeah.
On alternative medicine.
Yeah, that was really interesting to learn about and to write about. I enjoyed my conversations with both of the subjects of that article.
What was the most memorable thing that you learned that you may not have known before?
The most memorable thing that I learned, it was about something that I didn't actually get too deeply into because it was not the focus of the article, but biofeedback, which is something that Missy North Drain does, and it's something that you can learn more about at her website, and her business is Beneath the Symptom, but it was about mapping out different parts of the body to explain why you have food responses. And it made me think of Mark's wife Sherry because of she has celiac disease, and it was such an interesting concept that there's blockages of energy in your body that can prevent you from being able to eat certain things or do certain. It was just fascinating. Like there's so much of Western medicine that is applied to Eastern medicine and vice versa, but this is one of those things where it's like, why aren't we looking at this more?
Yeah.
Why aren't we understanding this more?
Interesting. Well, and I mean, we hope to have any of the contributors to the magazine here in the studio for a podcast episode.
Yes.
So I let her know too, because the focus of the article was one thing, and she said, well, this is, kind of more my primary of my practice. And I said, after the magazine comes out, we'll invite you in to do an episode and you can talk more about that. But for this story, I would like you to focus more on kind of the other things, which is, for that story, we focused on like food and holistic herbal supplements that help with different kind of ailments.
How to kind of pair those with your nutrition and health goals and to kind of add on to it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. She's a wealth of information. She's a very interesting person to talk to. So I found her fascinating. Both of them, actually. John Brooks was also very interesting. What an incredible path he's had.
Right.
He's traveled the world and learned about all different types of treatment options, acupuncture, and just he's, again, what a wealth of information.
And our gallery features the artwork of Melanie Terrian.
Oh, Melanie.
Who is the owner of Wicked Illustrations in Lewiston, and she'll be a guest on the podcast on Tuesday the 7th.
Fabulous.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it.
Forward to chatting with her. She has some pretty amazing pieces of art.
She does. And I think that and we'll have to ask her more about this, I think she has a couple of the electrical boxes over in the city of Lewiston that she has painted. So we'll have to inquire about those.
I think it does touch on that a little bit in this little piece.
Oh, perfect. Fire hydrants, murals, crosswalks. She's so creative. And have either of you done a paint day in her studio?
I haven't yet, no.
We did one for work at Lamy Wellahan. We brought all of our managers there, and she picked out a shoe-themed painting for us.
Oh, cool. I love it.
And we had delicious food, and just it was a really fun experience for our crew and for our management team to do that. So I would suggest, if you're looking for a team building activity, it's definitely fun.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
She was very supportive of everybody's creativity too. Some people were like, I'm going to put a turtle here. And she was like, do what you want to do.
Get your turtle on.
Put your turtle in if that's what you want. No one's stopping you.
About.
Yeah, so a lot of great stuff in this issue. And the last word features Lewiston's vibrant snowshoe club culture.
So cool.
Where visionary leadership transformed a simple winter sport into a cultural phenomenon.
They built a castle
on Main Street.
Main Street.
That's awesome.
Castle.
And there's photos,
ice.
yes.
It's crazy.
How did they do that without the modern equipment? I mean, I'm sure they use some type of equipment because I can't. Does it say what year that picture was taken?
They went out on No Name Pond and cut the blocks and brought them in.
1935. Wow. So in 1935, they built that.
90 years ago.
It weighed 85 tons and was 26 feet
26
high.
feet tall.
A castle of ice. I feel like I was born in the wrong time, you guys. I am a person out of my time. Like, this is where I belong. I belong snowshoeing down the street in a race in the middle of the city.
Did they
like,
have
that's me.
paddle boards in 1935?
I don't know. In 100 years, when I'm reborn, I'm going to look back on this time and be like, I'm a person out of my time. Look, they're paddleboarding. That's what I want to be doing.
Not hoverboarding.
Not hoverboarding.
There is
It's so fun. Our city is still fun.
Yes.
It is a lot of fun.
Another story we haven't really talked about this morning that's in here is we discussed with a couple of chiropractors and an osteopath, just about the different services that they offer, the types of symptoms they see most from their patients, and how to recognize different things going on with their body in which they can help you with. And what I found truly amazing, I guess, all of the people that we spoke with, they are very invested in your health and long-term health goals. Their primary focus isn't to book your next appointment with them.
Right.
I found that to be
That's refreshing.
nice and refreshing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Not to say that modern medicine is only out to make money, but I mean, we clearly see the healthcare industry does struggle to find a balance of being helpful without putting too much financial pressure on people. So it's nice to see services offered that are not out to get your cash.
Right. They're looking ultimately to make you a healthier person long term.
I'm not saying all healthcare is in that way, but it does seem like, oof, you get bombarded sometimes. And I'm saying that as a person who has an emergency room bill for a large sum of money. Gosh.
Is that for your stabbing?
Yes. Yeah. If only I could have gotten Nick to suture that for me. He wouldn't do it.
Former podcast guest Dr. Charles Landry is featured in that story, as well as Patrick Reeder and Steve Flynn, who we hope to get on the podcast sometime as well.
He's so fun.
I have been a patient of Dr. Landry's, and he said to me, "My goal is to not to have to see you."
Exactly. I'm actually a patient of Patrick Reeder. I was actually a patient of his father first, and I remember I was 13 or 14 when I first started seeing Dr. Reeder. I had a couple of falls in my adolescence. I fell off a bike and got a pretty decent concussion. Oof. I also fell off the monkey bars and hit my head on the way down. Might explain a lot of things. But anyway, what that ended up doing was it moved one of my vertebrae in my neck. So it isn't something that they treated when the falls first happened. But a few years later, when I got into middle school, I started having severe migraines. I needed complete stillness, blackness, silence. Like, I can't move. I felt like I was going to throw up.
Wow.
And I'm in my 7th grade classroom, just trying not to move and listening to the teacher. And so I was going home sick a lot. And my mom took me to a few different doctors. One was a neurologist, right? Because they're about the head. Yeah. And he was like, "Oh, this is normal, pubescent, teenage girl, hormones, all the things. Nothing really to worry about. She's fine. Here's some medication, so when she does get them, she can take something to alleviate the pain." Well, my 30-day migraine subscription lasted me, I think, just over 2 weeks. And my mom was like, "Absolutely not," which I'm glad, because that's an epidemic in this country, right?
Yeah, treat it.
And so someone suggested, "Have you ever taken her to a chiropractor?" And Dr. Reeder was the doctor she took me to. And I remember him taking the x-rays and showing me, I think it was the second vertebrae in my neck, and they're all, your vertebrae are lined up like this. So my second vertebrae was literally at a 45-degree angle. And so it was just irritating all the nerves, and
Sure.
that was what was giving me the migraines. I clearly remember the first time he cracked my neck, because of course you're very nervous.
Yes.
You're like, what is this person doing?
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw him twice a week, I think, for a couple of months, which is a lot. And then it just weaned off once a week and then once a month and teetered off. And now I just go as needed, but I can tell, in 6 months or so after an adjustment, like I can feel, especially if I'm not sleeping correctly, I have a bad mattress. So yeah, they give you exercises to do so it doesn't happen again and things like that.
Nice.
So
yeah, I see a chiropractor once a month. I know what you're talking about, though, with the neck cracking, because my chiropractor uses an activator pen. He doesn't do the cracking. But when I went to Dr. Landry, he really manipulates the muscles and
If
the
needed,
bones
right,
if
yeah,
needed.
yeah.
And I remember he was like, you got to relax so that I can crack your neck, because I was having a shoulder issue. He's like, you got to relax so I can crack your neck. And I'm like trying to relax. And I was like, I'm afraid you're going to break my neck off. And he goes, you watch too many Steven Seagal movies. He said, it would take so much pressure for me to break your neck. And I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to break it. It's like, oh, that's fair.
But
Fair
still,
point.
You're
fair
still
point.
putting a lot of trust in them.
You
Yeah,
really
for sure.
are.
But they know what they're doing.
Guys, he never broke my neck. He cracked it a bunch of times.
The way Dr. Reader will do it. He'll just kind of like move your head around and just kind of like he's feeling around for something to try and like see what's going on, and he's talking to you, and so you're not really thinking about it, and then all of a sudden
You're like, what?
like, oh, okay.
I had a chiropractor who could do manual manipulation, and he used to pop my leg. Like one of my legs is shorter than the other, because after my son was born, your pelvis works like a screw to push a baby out. So your pelvis tips, and one of my legs is shorter than the other because of that. And he would, just like twist, pop, and then he'd pull and it would go pop and it would be long again. And I'd be like, what the heck?
It's amazing what they
He's
can
like,
do.
I'm 6 feet again. I was 5'10" when I came in here.
You guys, I went to the doctor yesterday.
Are you shrinking?
I shrank a full inch.
No.
I am 5'10" and 3/4.
You need an inversion table.
I don't know
But it's natural.
who I am anymore.
It's natural.
So
Get smaller.
She can't play basketball anymore.
I was shocked.
That's right. You need to be a point guard now.
I was
You're no
like,
longer a center.
What do you play? Point guard now? Oh, what are you, power forward? No, I'm a center. I'm under the post. No, you're not. You're
In
not
what,
even 6
high
feet
school?
tall. I have been 6 feet tall since I was like 14. Like,
Now you can't use that joke anymore.
I know. I made a new one.
She rewrote it.
I rewrote
Don't
it.
worry.
It's still
Yeah.
funny.
All right. Because accuracy is important in comedy.
Yeah.
Monday, January 6th, 4 to 6 p.m. Come to 2 Great Falls Plaza, and you can check out the latest issue of LA Metro Magazine. Maybe meet some of our contributors and story subjects, and obviously our team here. So
Yeah, we'll be here.
Yeah, we will.
Do you want to meet us?
And it's hard to believe. I always say this when, for the digest and especially for the magazine, when you pick it up and thumb through it and you're like, this is free. Are you sure?
How is this free?
And the reason why it's free is because of all of our
Amazing.
wonderful
Fabulous
sponsors and
sponsors.
advertisers.
absolutely,
Yeah.
couldn't do it without them.
Nope. We're very fortunate to have them be a part of our team.
Yep.
So if you utilize them for their services, please say thank you. Mention the magazine and that you saw them in there, because 100% couldn't do it without them.
No.
Yeah.
And they're the reason we're able to tell the stories of the community.
Yep. Absolutely. And speaking of that, we have a new advertiser on the podcast.
We do.
Which is exciting.
That
We have
is.
Pat's Pizza of Auburn has joined us. We had Dave on as a guest, right?
Yes.
And he
As
had
part of the exchange club.
Yes,
Yep.
apparently-
He had so much fun.
he had a good time.
He did.
And he's like,
likes
I
us.
want to be part of this
He
deal.
really likes us.
So yeah, welcome Pat's Pizza to the Lydia's Lunch Bunch advertising family.
They're
Yes.
great business, great people over there, and great food. Their spinach dip, their
Oh.
spinach and artichoke dip is second to none.
Okay.
100%
Yeah.
the best spin dip in the Twin Cities.
Spin dip.
And
Is that what they call it in the
Yeah.
biz?
they do.
In the biz, cab sav and spin dip.
And that's the other thing that's great about Pat's is a lot of pizza places do not have a full bar.
Yeah.
And at Pat's Pizza,
They sure
you
do.
can get whatever you want to
And
drink.
Yeah.
They have specialty cocktails all the time.
Yeah. And they have in the summer and spring, they have that wonderful outdoor patio right on the
So
river.
nice.
You
Yeah.
don't even know you're in the city. It's beautiful.
It is great.
And a
they-
lot of Maine craft beers
Yeah.
on
Yes, they
tap as
do.
well.
They're within walking distance of my house. So there's
And
that.
the office.
And the office.
That's right.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, so we want to thank Pat's for coming on board.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's going to do it for today. Did you guys make any resolutions?
No.
Sarah, how many new people were at the gym this morning?
There were no new people at the gym this morning. We do have 2 new treadmills today, which was fun. Yeah, 2 new treadmills.
Your gym
this
is
morning.
like a secret club anyways.
Yeah,
so,
we
yeah,
don't,
a lot of
we
people
don't really
know.
let a whole bunch of people in.
Okay, gotcha. But I bet, like, the other gyms around town, they
Yeah,
probably
sure.
have tripled their memberships
Yeah.
Yeah.
for the next 2 weeks
Yeah.
anyways.
Yeah.
Is it Friday? The second Friday of January is National Quitting Day.
Oh, good.
So that's when most people's resolutions
Oh,
fall off the
no.
table. So that would
That's
be, the
amazing.
10th is coming up, and that'll be your second Friday of January.
Yeah.
So if you're a regular gym goer and it's crowded today, fear not. Just put up with it
Apologies.
for a couple of
Be
weeks.
patient.
Yeah, it's okay. We don't want to discourage people who are trying to get onto a healthy path, but here's something that I always say to people when they're starting a new physical routine or trying a new weight loss program is don't pick something you hate doing because you're not going to do it.
Right.
So if you're like, I'm going to get up every day at 5 o'clock and I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to work out for an hour, but you're somebody who has a hard time getting up in the morning, consider that might not be realistic for you. Maybe aim for 30 minutes after work 3 times a week to start with and
Yeah.
see how that
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah.
Don't set unrealistic goals for yourself because when you do that, you reduce your odds of being able to maintain it.
I've always said, like, everybody is different, right?
Yeah.
Not one thing is going to work for
No.
everybody. So find something that you think is going to work for you, whether that's a buddy system
Yeah.
or
For
find
accountability,
a something that you enjoy doing. So that is
Right.
kind of your catalyst for going out.
Right.
I used to like running. Now I'm
I was just going to say, if you hate running, don't choose running.
I love running, and it's just it's for me right now. What the hardest part is knowing what I used to be able to do,
Oh, your
and
own
now I'm like
way.
100% starting over. I remember when I was running and doing like 5Ks and just running 3 miles like it was nothing. And I was walking Mount Appetite. I would do at least 2 miles at Mount Appetite almost daily.
Yeah.
And to me, that wasn't my workout. That was my walk my dog.
Yeah.
But now, like, I just haven't done anything in like over a year. So I'm trying to get back out there. So it's so frustrating.
Yeah,
it's so hard
I'm
to know
sure.
what you used to be able to
Give
do.
yourself grace.
Yeah. But
So frustrating, but yes,
It
I
is,
get it.
but
It is.
but we're different. We're different now. I used
Yeah.
to be the same way.
Yeah.
I was in the best shape of my life like 10 years ago, and then I got on the treadmill this past summer, and I'm like, what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just took it slow. I just walked.
Yeah.
I walked for like the first week. And
Yeah.
then just started to pick up the pace a little bit.
Right.
Sarah used to be 6 feet tall. I mean, things change.
Things change.
Things change.
Yes. So
Something
give yourself grace.
That's right.
including myself.
Something I always have told people also who are trying to get into a new habit, a nutrition plan or a workout plan is that if you wouldn't say it to your best friend, don't say it to yourself. So if you wouldn't say, why can't you run 4 miles after 5 weeks? Why is it so hard for you? Would you ever say that to somebody that you cared about?
Right.
No, you would never say that. You would be like, you're doing a really good job. Maybe you can't run 4 miles today, but you will be able to someday. Like, that's the kind of language
Yeah.
that you want to use. And
Yeah, sure.
you just remember to talk to yourself in the same way that you would talk to a friend.
We are our own worst critic.
Yes,
We are.
we really are.
Yeah.
We really are. And I obviously don't practice what I preach, so you can listen to me or not.
We've learned that about you.
You can listen to me or not.
So I'm going to put this out in the universe, and I should put something out for myself in the universe. But Kevin has always wanted to hike the base camp of Mount Everest. And that's been a goal of his. And with everything happening. He's pushed that goal out another year. So 2026, his goal is to get to Nepal and hike the base camp of Mount Everest.
What does that mean, hike the base camp?
So it's like a 50-mile from like the bottom to base camp. So there's a base camp. It's a specific area where people camp before they are going to try and get to the summit of Mount Everest, and which can be, I don't even know how many days. It depends on the weather, obviously, but if everything was clear and it was fine, they had no issues, I'm not even sure how many days that would take, but I know getting to the base camp is a 50 to 60 mile trek.
Wow.
So that's a goal of his.
That's impressive.
Yeah, so he said starting this new year, he is going to, take off for a day on the weekend and go find a mountain to hike, whether it's New Hampshire or Maine.
Spend the day.
Yep.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yep.
Good
And
for him.
obviously doing other workouts in between and stuff. But
Yeah, you got to be strong for that stuff.
So, yeah.
Are you in on that?
When we first got together, I said, yeah, I'd definitely be up for it. At this point, that's like a 2-week.
Oh, yeah.
Bare minimum, that's
Yeah.
a 2-week vacation.
Wow. Vacation.
And that's, like I said, that's absolute bare minimum, because when you think about the travel time and everything else that you need to do, you need to acclimate yourself, you need to do all kinds of different things. Even 2 weeks is cutting it close, because you don't know, like I said, you don't know what the weather is going to be like, so you could be sitting at in a spot for like 3 days before you can start hiking up. So I was like, I know I said yes, but I think I'm going to retract that. You go and do it. Have fun. Maybe I'll meet you there in Nepal, because I would love to go visit.
Yeah, but it'd be beautiful.
Yes, for sure. But no, at this point, my vacations are going to consist of adventures for sure, but a 50-mile hike, probably not.
A little more
Scale it back a little bit.
A little more relaxation is needed,
Yes.
I think.
Yeah.
You need a break. Yeah.
I'm thinking this year I just want to start exercising like at least 3 days a week.
Yeah.
Just something.
Something.
Because I haven't done anything for as long as I've known Sarah. I know that.
Is it
and that's
because I
been-
took all of my workout equipment home? Do you want me to bring it
It might have
back?
been. It might have been. Yeah, I used to make some strange noises when Sarah would bring her
I
workout
had a lot of equipment that I just left in the studio. It's in my office at work now, and one of the gals at work is always like, "Are you rolling?" Because I have one of those rolly ab roller things.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Mind your business, Rebecca."
Sarah and I used to plank in the studio during like try to plank
5,
for a full
8
song.
minutes. Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
Yep.
She was
Can
whipping
you
me
get
into
through a
shape back
song?
then.
Oh yeah.
3 minutes?
Oh yeah. We were up to 8 minutes.
I don't know about
8
that.
or yeah, we were, because you put on that really long, or maybe that
8
was.
minutes. That's impressive.
That's a long. I don't think we did 8 minutes.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Pretty sure?
If you want to try to do 8 minutes right now.
No, I can't right now.
Okay.
I'm just getting over the stomach flu.
Okay. I don't think we were up to 8 minutes.
Barely. Maybe it was Heidi that was up to 8 minutes.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She put on like a really long song, and we were like, "Oh my god, that's
Yeah.
like an 8-minute song."
What did
Yeah, maybe
Donna
that-
say? After so long, it's more mental than
Yeah.
it is physical.
Right, physical.
Yeah. Sarah, what about your 3 scary things?
So I haven't picked out my 3 scary things yet.
Okay.
I'm still thinking about them. Last year's 3 scary things were real scary. So
What were last year?
the big one was moving in with my significant other. That was like a big
Yeah,
scary
that's 100%.
thing. So yeah, but we'll see what this year brings. I was thinking I might try to do a longer race than what I've been doing, because I've only been doing 5Ks, which are just a few miles. But thinking about it,
All right.
put it. And
Smart.
sometimes they just come up, and I'm like, oh, that's a good scary
Yeah.
thing to do. Yeah,
Right.
I'll do that.
Yeah. do it
Mark,
up.
you're just 3 times a week. That's your...
Yeah,
kinda-
I want to get active.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in my mid 50s. I don't have many more good years left.
And you don't like the winter.
I don't.
So-
But we have stuff at home that I could be doing.
Okay.
We have one of those walking pads in the living
Yeah.
room. I have resistance bands that I could be using. I'm the problem. It's not the weather's not the problem. I'm the problem. I could
Maybe
do it.
I could teach him to paddleboard.
Yeah. In the winter.
In the
yes.
winter?
I could do it if I
summer.
wanted to.
Yeah.
But I'm always just putting it off, making an excuse, whatever. But
Yeah.
I got to stop that at some point. So
Same,
yeah,
same.
that's my goal for 2025. Just get in some decent physical shape.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like it.
Getting physical is one of them. Just really getting out and moving more. I really would like to get outside as much as possible, especially after reading the story in LA Metro, how important that is during the winter months. Also, just cutting back on the relaxing beverages.
Yeah.
That, I'm gonna
That can make a big
scale
difference.
that. Well, yes, I think though, like not being active and relying on that to relax is definitely not helpful for having the motivation to get out and do something. So, they go hand in hand, I think. So, we'll see.
So Happy New Year, everyone. If you have something that you want to get accomplished this year, just say it. Say it out loud.
Manifest it.
Like Pam said earlier, I'm going to put this out in the universe.
Yeah.
Just do it. Say it out loud so you have some accountability there.
Well, and I think when you do that too, people tend to ask you about it. And then you're like, I need to have something to say if someone's going to ask me about it. So I should do something. So
Yeah.
I'm a big person with follow through. When I say something, I like to make sure that I follow through with it. So
good. Yeah.
Here we go.
All right. That is going to do it for us. We want to thank our sponsors for today, Roopers Beverage and Redemption and United Piping. And if you'd like to be part of the Lydia's Lunch Bunch growing advertising family, reach out to Pam via email at pam@lydiamediallc.com. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you tomorrow with our weekend preview.